Welcome to the Reconnection Club podcast, the show that helps parents heal troubled relationships with their adult sons and daughters. I'm your host, psychotherapist Tina Gilbertson. Each week, I'll offer you compassion, clarity, and personal development tips designed to help you reconnect, not only with your child, but with yourself. Now let's get started. I hear more and more parents of estranged adult children talking about apology letters as if they were required in all cases, as if sending an apology were the first, best, or only step to successful reconnection. Parents say things like, I haven't done the amends letter yet, or I sent the apology last month, as if there's a box on a form that needs to be checked before everything's in order. And I can understand where parents get that idea. There are many cases of estrangement in which the adult child would truly appreciate a good apology from the parent. And there are times when an apology is the only kind of communication that could potentially open the door when the time is right. But apologies are not required or even appropriate in every case. Your child might just need to be allowed to spend time apart without having to serve other family members' needs for connection. In that case, an apology could be experienced as a bid for closeness that ignores their need to be separate right now. And that could potentially do more harm than good. But even when apologies are appropriate and desired, they are rarely the first step you'll want to take in response to your adult child's estrangement. I've seen parents rush to apologize because they know how healing a good apology can be, and because they genuinely regret certain things and they want their child to know that. But in their hurry, they neglect to build a foundation within themselves to fulfill the promise inherent in a good apology. So if you're thinking about writing an apology to send to an adult child who's become estranged, or even if you've already sent something, there's a simple activity that I'd like to recommend. It can substantially improve any apology you might decide to send and help you build a truly solid foundation for a better relationship with your child or children. And by the way, it's never too late to get something out of this exercise that I'm going to describe. But first, a word of caution. This exercise is simple to understand, but it can evoke a lot of emotion. If you have trauma, there is a risk of re-traumatization. Please make sure you know how to anchor yourself in the present before approaching any sensitive material from your past, or else do exercises like this with the help and support of your therapist. The exercise is simply this. Write an apology letter to yourself from someone other than your adult child or children. Choose someone else you could really use an apology from. It may be someone who's currently in your life, like your spouse or a friend, or it may be someone you felt hurt by in the past, a parent, a teacher, a former partner. Choose the first person who comes to mind, because that's someone you probably really could use an apology from. Even if you can't imagine this particular person ever apologizing, try to imagine what they might say if they did decide to offer you a sincere apology. Write the words you need to hear from them and make it sincere and authentic, as if they really and truly had a change of heart and they want you to feel better. Their apology to you can be as long as you need it to be. It might be very short. Just make sure the person says what you need to hear and feels what you need them to feel about what they did. Don't worry if they would never say or feel such a thing in real life. Say it anyway, using the language they might use. As you do this exercise, you may find it difficult to go back and revisit the harm that was done to you. Of course you might. Healing from emotional wounds does bring forth emotional pain. It's part of the healing process. It's why we have the saying, you've got to feel it to heal it. But just feeling something isn't necessarily enough to heal it. The healing happens because this time your pain is not going unacknowledged. This time you're receiving a sincere and heartfelt apology for the harm that was done to you. Take all the time you need to write the apology you desire. And once you're done writing it, give yourself the experience of reading this acknowledgement of your hurt, imagining the apology is coming from the person who caused it. What does it feel like to receive a genuine, honest, and wholehearted apology like this? What you get out of this exercise will be proportional to what you're able to put into it. And you can do it as many times, from as many people, for as many incidents as you like. There is no limit on the number of apologies you get to receive. If you invest some time and energy in doing this exercise deeply and well, instead of struggling to write the perfect apology to your estranged adult child, several things could possibly happen. Number one, you'll get a feel for what makes an apology powerful and what doesn't. 2, your heart may start to feel a little bit safer opening to others because you are protecting it. 3, you may experience increasing compassion for all of us frail humans, including yourself, your child or children, and others who have hurt you. Number 4, any negative feelings you may have about apologies will come to the surface where they can be addressed. And 5, your understanding of your own experience will deepen, making you better at understanding the emotions of others. I can't say enough about how constructive and practical a step it can be to shift your focus from apologizing to your child to apologizing to yourself. This elemental shift in your attention from outward to inward is the main avenue on the roadmap to reconnection that I outlined in episodes 97 through 99. You can find those at reconnectionclub.com/97. Remember that just because you're not reaching out to your child doesn't mean you're not moving closer to reconnection. Everything you do to connect with your own heart will have a positive impact on your relationship with your adult child or children. Until next time, remember that you are a loving, lovable, and still growing human being. So please take good care of yourself. Bye for now. If you've enjoyed this episode of the Reconnection Club podcast, I invite you to check out reconnectionclub.com. The Reconnection Club is for parents at any stage of estrangement from their adult, child, or children. So whether you've just realized there's trouble between you, you've been living with estrangement for years, or you're newly reconciled but still walking on eggshells, the Reconnection Club is your essential resource for information, support, and continued personal growth. With our courses and workshops, expert interviews, monthly Q&A calls, and a friendly, active community, the Reconnection Club is a wonderful place to be for anyone suffering the pain of estrangement from an adult, child, or children. So check it out at reconnectionclub.com.